Hey everyone, welcome to our first live 2 Past Midnight. The thing that Jeremiah said we were never, ever gonna do? Was that right?
Yeah, but nobody fucking listens to me.
There have been so many times Jeremiah said, we're never doing that. And then we do it.
And then we do it.
We just coax them in. Little baby steps at a time. Go on.
We start with one finger.
Yeah. He didn't flinch as much as I thought he would.
Let's see what he does with 2.
So thanks everyone joining us in the chat, joining us live tonight. We're going to get this rolling here in a second. First of all, I just wanted to get out some gratitude real quick. We covered a little bit of it off air before we started, but I feel like it'd be a good thing to talk about beforehand, like before we start going. Nothing too deep, but look, seriously, the 4 of you guys, you've been awesome, and I've really appreciated all of the work you guys have put into this and everything you've brought to the table. You've all been great. As much shit as I give you sometimes, it's out of love, and I hope you guys genuinely understand that. But that's all I got. It's been a great 2 years so far. And that's it. That's the last episode. See you later.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
You too, Adam. You're still a monster.
That's fine. That's fine. I could be an adorable monster, right? Like no, not an adorable one.
Like Monsters, Inc. Like, do we have the rights to that? Can we?
No, we do not have the rights to that.
No, if Disney has anything near it, we're not allowed to touch it.
Sharbo Tuckus.
That's not Disney.
Isn't it?
No?
Not
No.
yet.
I feel like it's incestuous.
I feel like it's on its way.
Yeah.
Brian, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing great. Just happy to be here.
Yeah?
Yes.
Chris? Oh, never mind. Sorry,
No,
Brian,
good.
finish saying what you were saying.
No,
I didn't.
no,
that was a
Chris.
long pause. I didn't realize you were continuing. Please continue.
Nope, Chris.
Chris, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. Excited for our first live. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. And got merch, representing, and Bruins.
I'm representing Pink Faux Hawk tonight.
I was always taught never
I'm
be that
representing
guy.
the show that we're actually doing.
Eh.
And, of course,
I
repping the
support
Bruins.
bears.
I support the blackness of the void. I don't.
Me too.
Hail Cthulhu. I don't know.
Good. Ready to rock. Thank you, everybody, for joining. It's awesome. Appreciate it.
Jeremiah, how you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing great. And we're still not doing this. Everybody turn your shit off and we're leaving. We're done. We're done here.
It's funny because we've done numerous live things, just not this show specifically.
Yeah, I know.
That's that easing it in.
The reason why is because I was terrified that the quality of our show would be diminished if we did a live thing, but we've done enough live things to this point. That'll be all right.
Yeah, we've gotten the practice. And on that point, Jeremy, that was something I did want to mention. Part of the reason we've actually started doing these things live and not just, recording and then cleaning it up afterwards is we've recently made some drastic improvements to our audio quality, which is thanks to our patrons. So that's one of the things for our patrons out there. One of the things we've done over the last few months, 6 months, I think, last 6 months probably, we've upped everybody's microphones to higher quality so that we could produce better sounding podcasts. And I hope over the last, 15 episodes, I think it was, it's been about that many that everyone's been on the new mics. And so thank you to our patrons so far. It's been great. And that's where it's gone so far, just to increase the quality for y'all. And hopefully you enjoy that.
The money that's come in has gone right back into it.
Right back out. Yeah. Right back in. Right back in. Out. In.
Revolving
out,
door.
in.
Revolving door. Yeah.
It's like one of my dogs. That's what he does. He human centipedes the other dogs. That's too gross for this show. Kyle, how are you doing tonight?
Not as good as your dogs, but
Canine centipede.
Speaking of which, let's give it to Kyle.
How's the basement dwellers? Are they?
Yeah. Speaking of human centipedes.
they speak when spoken to and not any other time. As you can tell from my fancy background, we don't look at what's behind the curtain, okay? This Wizard of Oz show shall remain here.
Oh, do they have a safe word at least, Kyle?
They have several. They don't work, but they insist on having a few.
They don't work, but they insist on having
Harder, faster, and stronger.
Oh, man. Just for reference sake, this is not appropriate for kids, so never has been and never will be.
And I was told I had to behave.
Well, now I got Daft Punk stuck in my head. Thanks, Kyle.
One more time.
So, I don't want to spend too much time
Little roofie
doing
for me, little roofie for you.
talking about people's weird basements, but we can move on to something more podcast related at some point.
Oh, hey, I got a fun fact.
Yes, Brian.
Okay, bear shirt.
Uh-huh.
I have worn this every time we record 2 past midnight since Emmett killed the bear.
And never washed it.
And
And
never,
it stinks to high heaven. Luckily, you can't smell through these awesome new microphones we have.
They're pretty close. They're pretty close.
I've been looking into those, but they're really expensive. We need to
a few
increase
more
our
patrons, and boy,
Yeah.
we've got it.
Yeah. Well, trust me. I think mine and Kyle's mic, everybody's better off. Like nothing stinks like a sex dungeon.
Then you can get smell-o-vision.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
Oh, man. So I will apologize if at any point you guys start hearing dogs barking in the background before I mute my mic. It's because my wife's not here. She's going to be home in any minute. And she had a thing she had to go do. But always whenever she comes home, the dogs will start barking. So if that happens, that's why. And I'll try to mute it before it becomes too much of a distraction or turns into a sound effect in the game. But
Has happened before.
has happened before.
It has?
Well, that was from Sirenscape. I used those from Sirenscape, the dogs barking. But back in whatever fucking episode that was.
Stanley barked
Which one?
during an episode.
Oh, yeah, but I
when there were
trimmed that
dogs,
out.
but there were dogs in the episode at the time.
That is true. That is true. So speaking of which, do you guys have any thoughts of where we are right now in the storyline? What's going on? Ideas? Things that, thoughts, opinions about where the characters are right now? The main team? Brian?
No, that's the A team.
Main team. M-A-I-N-E. Main
Sorry, you know
team.
how this brain works. Or doesn't thereafter. I mean, we were pretty much headed into the belly of the beast the last time we cut it off.
Unts, unts, unts,
Yeah,
unts,
that
unts, unts,
was pretty much where we
unts.
cut it off was, let's see, Murph and LT and Emmett were headed into the bunker, moving up to that outside checkpoint outside of it to, where they turn your weapons in so that you can go inside. And Valentine was watching from afar from his, yeah. Valentine is watching. Chris?
Well, I know Mr. Stan and Harrison are in a million pieces. I don't like that. And Murph is basically an indentured servitude to Valentine.
As long as it's
So
not.
there's that. And he's crazy as a jailhouse rat.
I've been thinking about it. I think the appropriate term is indentured mercenary is the term we should go with.
Okay, that's
Right?
fair.
Like it's
That
fair.
seems accurate.
yeah,
That seems
because
very accurate.
servant seems to have more of a like, can I get you your tea tone to it? Whereas this is
And he's still crazy as fuck, as evidenced by the last freak out. So there's that.
Oh, you were saying Murph is crazy as fuck. Right. Okay. Yeah.
you thought you were talking about Valentine?
I did for a moment. Yeah.
Shoe fits. But yeah, that's where Murph's at. And yeah, I think his moral code has evaporated for the most part.
Kyle, what about LT? Where do you think LT's at in his noggin?
I mean, I think he's still finding his footing as the one of the newer acquisitions. I think he's in a fun little spot where even he's surprising himself, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. We had that whole shootout with the that inside, urban warfare thing with the sniper stuff, where he just went charging up into the building and took out one of the guys and ended up letting the other dude go, which was
a
interesting.
very un-LT thing. Very, very, very manic this and manic that. So hopefully whichever personality of his will win out for a longer period of time next time.
Yeah, we'll have to see how the rest of his development plays out if he lives that long.
Come on, dude.
Kyle,
Jeremiah.
you and I are in a race.
How many do we have left in your table?
He's probably up to 15 now.
Oh, I keep creating new ones. It's
That's
fine.
what I mean.
There's
It's
more.
like he's got a problem with that. So there will never be a shortened version.
It's a never-ending table.
Yeah, it'll be a
It's just
D100
refilled.
before too long.
It's a never-ending tale.
I was thinking about this just probably an hour ago, and the song "Rooster" by Alice in Chains popped in my head. That's like Murph and Emmett.
Yeah, he ain't gonna die. Not up to.
I mean, they are, but
That's what these bad boys are for. That's what these ones are for. They decide that. Which I think it's the D10s, technically. I should have picked that one up, because that's the one you roll for the crits. So
Yes.
that's the one. That one and this one. This one right here. These nice little dice from Free League.
yeah, I'm very familiar with the crit dice.
Just not rolling them on other people.
All right, so for anyone out there that's not familiar with the way we've been doing the live shows, the way we usually do it is we'll record what ends up being like one episode first, and then we're going to take a break somewhere in the middle, and probably we'll walk away for a second, come back, and
Intermission.
everyone, a little intermission. There's not really going to be an intermission video because I didn't have time to make one. Next time, I'll make
And the
one.
one with the snacks in the lobby thing is copyrighted.
Yeah, and the video Brian sent me is not appropriate even for our not made for children thing on YouTube. We still would have gotten in trouble for it. But so that's going to be the plan. We're going to do what would be like one episode's worth, cut away for a second, and then come back and finish up the second episode. Just so everyone, when I sign off, it's not really me signing off the first
We're not
time. The
going
second time's for real. The second time's for real.
Second time, get out.
Second one's a psych out.
The second one's we're gonna be in the background singing that song that they used to close every fucking bar with at the end of the night in the 90s.
Oh, every single one.
Which is weird because it's not what that song's about, but not really. But anyway,
And I was usually there for that time at those bars.
yeah, me too. And then I'd go find somewhere else to go. Anyway, we're not here to talk about all those things. But so that's going to be the plan for this. And I'll end up cleaning this up, put it out there on our normal podcast feed. So if you're listening to this now, sorry you're hearing me babble about what it's like when we do the live thing. But you can go watch it on YouTube or not. That's fine. It's up to you. Do whatever you want. It's a free country. And
The
Mostly.
cleaned
Kind
up
of.
edited episodes will release as normal.
yeah, well, they're going to be cleaned up. They're going to be less, quote,
We
edited.
keep telling ourselves.
They definitely won't be PG.
They won't be PG. They
I
never
meant
are PG.
cleaned up sound quality.
Sound wise. Noises like this won't be there, hopefully. But anyway, because that's usually what I end up doing.
Just say it. Kyle's
Say
track.
what? Kyle. It's not just Kyle, but that's not the point. That's not what we're here to do. This isn't a complaint about Kyle's track. We'll do that some
This
other
isn't
time.
a Kyle intervention podcast.
No. But,
We had that one last week.
we did.
I don't know if that was an intervention. That was a bitch fest, is what it was.
Yeah, that was. We all complained about random stuff. Session. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get the ball rolling on this, and storyline wise, kind of moving from there. Unless anyone else has anything else guys want to say before we actually get going. Brian, Chris,
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Jeremy,
Potato.
Kyle.
Hard to follow that.
All right, so this is where we're gonna open. 15 minutes in. We're going to open with... we see the field where Anderson and Butler and Keanu were pinned down with gunfire. Butler had just shot the guy that had the sniper rifle, and another guy had gotten up and moved over to that same position. Because Butler had just shot that one guy. I believe you had Overwatch on him at the time.
Yes, now that's coming back to me. Correct.
Right, which means at the beginning of the next turn, you would be able to shoot at him. But before you get a chance to, you hear another shot come from the tree line, a little bit down the ways. And Keanu gets hit in the helmet, and you see him drop. Poof. And then you start looking out, and you see about a dozen people starting to flank out around you.
Keanu, kid, you good? You good?
You don't hear anything coming from Keanu. You see him laying on top of Anderson. He's about 20 meters away from you. And also about 20, 30 meters behind you is a tree line. What do you do?
Peterson, get back in the fight.
Nothing.
Fuck. Fuck. He's observing, trying to weigh his options here.
You start hearing more gunshots come from the tree line. Shooting down your way.
Peterson! Anderson, either of you.
You don't hear anything other than gunshots.
And I've got Overwatch on the spot. Any shots coming from that spot?
Yep, there's a guy there. You could shoot at the guy with the sniper rifle. One of the dozen people.
Will do.
Okay. It's going to be a negative for the terrain, too, because it's in the tree line. So that's a -1.
Okay, -1. It takes me to... I'm an A and C. That'll take me to a B and a C, correct? Not an
Yep.
A and a D.
Right.
What do we got here? Don't know why I had those, but I got miss and a miss.
Do you want to push that roll?
3 and a 2 on the die. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Holy shit. A 1
Uh-huh.
and a 4. 0.
All right, your weapon takes a point of reliability damage.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
But it's not jammed because it's only jams on a 1 on a bullet die, unless you're rolling bullet dice with it.
Understood, but he is going to take that as a sign.
You still have a fast action left. Because if you had Overwatch, it would be your slow action that would be used to shoot. You still have a fast action. Theoretically, if you wanted to crawl towards the tree line. Or
Sorry,
towards
guys.
Anderson and Butler. Or, I'm sorry, towards Anderson and Keanu.
He's going to crawl to them.
Okay. Are you going to try to do it in a stealthy way, or do you want to just try to quickly shamble over there?
Speed's of the essence.
Okay. You can only crawl 1 hex with a normal fast action, but you can roll mobility and it gets you 1 more hex. if you get a success on it.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
Okay. So, regardless of the number of successes, when you're crawling, it's only one more.
Okay, so move, mobility. Holy shit, Roll20 hates me.
Thank God they're not a sponsor.
A 1 and a 2.
Do you want to push that roll?
I do. I'm re-rolling the
2? That means he's going to take a point of damage.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's better than taking a point of getting shot in the head.
Okay. All right.
I agree.
2 successes.
Okay, so you take a point of damage.
12 on the die.
All right, you take a point of damage, and you were crawling to Anderson and Peterson?
Yep.
Okay, so you're able to get to Anderson and Peterson, but right about then, a shot rings out. And they're going to take a negative because you're prone. Roll me a hit location.
Sweet. We're going to do this one on the die. Chest.
All right, so that reduces the damage by 1, which still makes it a crit. Roll a d10. What did you roll?
8. Ooh. That sounds familiar. Murph
That's too high. That's too high.
Murph can relate to this.
Anything above a 5.
Yeah, I believe that is torn intestines, actually.
Oh, I thought 8 was
7
the-
is cracked spine. 8 is torn intestines.
Do you have a flak jacket on?
Yeah, that reduced it by 1.
And I'm crawling, so...
He took a negative 1 for that. No, you don't. It doesn't change on the hit location. That just prone changes the modifiers. Cover makes it so reduces damage if it's chest or legs. Those two things are totally different and do not stack. You cannot be both, by the rules, prone and in cover at the same time. You're making a face like you don't believe me, but it's in the player's manual.
I'm not.
This is definitely our last podcast.
He's trying to figure out how to unalive himself.
No, I was thinking.
Yeah. Shit, dude. That is not exactly how I thought this was going to go, but okay. Wow. All right. So, plus that point of damage you took from the mobility roll, that's 4 points of damage total that you've taken. Look, total. It should be, the crawling was 1, and then 3 from the AK-74 after your flak jacket reduced it by 1.
Capacity is 5. He's got 4.
All right. Roll me a stamina check. Because I think, how often does that happen? What is it on that crit?
I think it's a stretch for torn intestines.
Yeah, I think it is a stretch. All right. So you see that group starting to move in. They start, like, bounding in. Like, guys are back at the tree line covering as the other ones are moving in. What do you do?
Drop my weapon.
Okay.
I mean, how many guys are coming?
About a dozen. -2, -1. So 11.
Dude, he's a tanker. This isn't Murph. He drops his weapon and reaches for his med kit.
Okay. So he's going to
He's
try to patch himself up. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Roll medical aid.
Nothing and a nothing. Just a nothing. It's only 1
Yeah.
dice.
It would take a full stretch of that anyway to do that. And I think actually you take a negative when you're trying to stabilize your own crit, by the way. But
Makes sense.
He's just reaching into his med kit and trying to stop the bleeding. Mm-hmm. I think that's what they told me to do in basic.
I think it's balanced out by the med kit now that I think about it. I think it's the same negative and positive. The med kit gives you like a plus one or a 2, and then you take like a negative 1 or 2 for...
When this happened previously, they balanced each other out with a med kit.
Yeah. Huh. All right. All right, so we cut away with them moving up towards Anderson and Butler and Keanu, laying there in the middle of the field.
He's also trying... Sorry, I know you're trying to tell a story. He's also trying... As he's patching himself up. Guys, are you with me?
We hear that fading out as we're cutting away from them and back over to Emmett and LT and... Emmett, LT, and Murph. That's who's there. Yeah. Sorry, I'm keeping track of like a gajillion different characters right now. Emmett and LT and Murph are moving up towards the checkpoint at the bunker where they're getting ready to turn the weapons in. So a couple guys approach you. It's nighttime, and because you guys wasted a lot of time at the radio station, and this one guy comes up to you in civilian clothes, and another guy comes up that's in like the Polish uniform. He's got like the red armband. And you didn't see this there before, Murph, when you were there, if I remember correctly. You didn't see the Polish, like the militia guys from Krakow that were there. But they come up and they're like, you need to turn over your weapons before you can go in.
We're going to get them all back, though, right? You're not just going to... We're not, like, stealing stuff. We're just
Yes, you will
them,
get your weapons back when you...
Do I get, like,
leave.
a ticket, like when I used to go to the opera?
No, we will just randomly hand them out. Yes, we will take ticket. We will keep track of these
What
things.
about my axe? Can I take my axe?
No, you may not take axe in here.
I took an axe in a church.
This is not church.
That's what I wanted to hear. All right, here you go.
All right, so what do you hand him? Your axe?
I hand him my axe, and I don't have an M9 anymore because it's
Yeah, I
theft.
think you said you just took your axe, if I remember correctly.
Correct. I left
Yeah.
weaponry hidden under my bunk in the well-hidden V-hole.
Right. Emmett, did you bring any weapons with you? I can't remember.
It was just the. I honestly can't remember. It's the object I picked up from the scrapyard.
Oh, the
So
club.
I think we called it a spiked bat, but
Yeah.
I think we flavored it a different way back then. But yeah,
Yeah,
I just
okay.
I just have my melee weapon. That's all.
Okay. Murph?
I'm trying to remember. I think he said he took his M9 in the chest holster.
Yeah. That was my memory, too, was the M9.
So he takes it out. I want this back.
Yes, of course. You will get it back. And then the militia, the soldier hands it off to the other guy that's there in the civilian clothes, and they start walking you towards the bunker. You can see the front door, and you can kind of hear the muffled sound of the bass coming from inside as you're walking closer. And you hear, doof, 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 doof.
Did we get a ticket?
Not yet. You're not there. Oh. And but they also don't want you with your weapons walking up to it, so they're stopping you well before that point, before they check them up there.
I know this is kind of a serious situation, guys. Doesn't this kind of remind you of those westerns where, guys would ride into town and head into the bar, and the moment they go to the bar, they're like, "We need to take your weapons, guys," and they'd pull off the belt, the big leather belts with their guns on them, and they'd hand them over, and the sheriff would be like, "You can have these back when you leave." I'm sorry, I'm on a tangent.
Settle down there, LT. I mean,
do you realize how long it's been since we've been to a bar, a club, or whatever?
I mean, I know, but come on, you're not going to go full cowboy on me right now, okay?
What? I mean,
Well,
Just
LT.
take a breath.
LT, this is basically the Wild West at this point.
Hey,
yeah,
LT, you remember those movies, right?
I do.
Okay, when the guy rolled into town with his 6-shooter on and got it taken from him and stuff, most of the time he was what you would call stoic. I know you have an acting degree. Can we act like we're stoic for a minute so we can get through this?
Don't know if I can handle it, but I will do my best to be the John Wayne. Is that what you're saying, John Wayne?
Yes.
How about
More
this?
John Wayne, less Nathan Lane.
Thank you.
Okay.
Maybe some more
Gotcha.
like Clint Eastwood, Fistful of Dollars, where he shuts the fuck up.
It's less Nathan Wayne. No, that's it.
And how about you act like you've been there before?
Now all I want is spaghetti. Anyways, let's go.
That really got Jeremy. Nathan Wayne.
They're so diametrically opposed. It's like John Wayne, Nathan Wayne. That's funny.
I mean, it really worked. The joke really worked.
Oh wait, was
I
it?
saw
It was
both of
Nathan
your-
Lane,
yeah, John Wayne,
like
and Nathan
Hakuna
Wayne.
Matata.
Like fucking birdcage.
Birdcage. It's exactly where my
Oh
mind
my
went.
god!
I pierced the toast.
See, I knew we were gonna hit Disney at some point.
Oh fuck.
All right, so as you guys are talking about this, you get closer up to the bunker. You can, as you look around, you can see other people headed there, and you can see other people getting stopped further out and getting, like checked before they get there, and like handing the weapons over and being escorted up. Yes, Chris.
We don't have an escort at this point, right?
Yes,
We're
you
walking.
do.
Oh, we
no,
still
you
do.
have an escort. Yeah,
Okay.
the guy with your weapons is walking with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's something I want to say to these guys, but not in the earshot of.
Not that kind of escort, Chris.
Again, I'm the one that's supposed to behave.
Would you like to try to say something to him in a way that this other person wouldn't notice?
No, I'll wait till we get in and get to a table or something.
Once you're in the loud club, so you can yell it. I'm just kidding.
No, we're good.
Okay. All right. So you guys get close up to the. You start getting closer to the bunker, and you see the door open, and they escort somebody in, and the person that's with you, kind of stops a little bit outside of it. It's like, we wait right here. Hold on. And a few minutes later, after that person goes in, they come back out and they open. They come back out the door, and they're like, "All right, next, you can come in." And the guy with your weapons goes in first, right? And like closes the door behind him. And a moment later, like maybe a minute or so, comes back out, and he's got a couple like pieces of paper, just basically like written on it, like 39, 40, 41, and it's like, here you go, here you go, here you go. You should keep these to make sure you get your quote weapons back.
Don't know that the quotes were necessary, but thank you, sir.
It was more about his pipe. Or whatever it was. It was like a piece of like sharp metal from a junkyard, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it was some kind of rebar or pipe or something. I'm sure it's probably still not the strangest thing he's seen turned in.
Yeah.
Not in the world that we live in now. So what number did we get?
39, 40, and 41. It doesn't matter. I mean,
Hey, okay, that's fine. I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure it wasn't going to be something I had to recall later. Like,
No, that's-
Do you remember your ticket number? Nope, I don't.
You got
no,
your
I
ticket?
can't say that I do.
take your ticket.
Take it.
Take a
Do I need this?
ticket.
All right, guys, the good news is, if my calculations are correct, there's only about 36 people in this bar, so that's a good thing.
It's an interesting assessment of it, but
Well, we
Yeah, I was
understand
waiting
it
to
is
hear
actually
the
a
assessment
population.
once we got in.
yeah. All right, so the door opens up. They let you in. They're like, go ahead, you can go in. And like when it opens, and we're gonna go to a map. We're gonna do this. That'll be fun.
Oh, snap.
Map
You got an
of
indoor
the
map?
bunker. Oh, snap.
Fuck yeah, I got an indoor map. And
That means one of us is dead, just so y'all know. He spent too much time on this for somebody not to be buried in this map.
Here's one ambush point. Here's another ambush point.
all right, so I'm gonna move you guys closer so that it actually shows up on this thing. Boop boop. There you are, right there by the door. And I'm gonna reveal what the hallway looks like.
Can
This is
listeners
totally-
see this? Can the people watching this see this map?
Yeah, in the box right there.
They're seeing the quadrants that we're seeing over here.
I have it covered with the. Anyways, never mind.
So if anyone has the top left part of their thing covered with something, they wouldn't be able to see it.
Now
right.
I can see it.
So
is that?
the door opens up and you see another person there, and they're starting to walk back towards that's actually the person that opened the metal door from the inside. They opened up the door, and you see another guy sitting here at a table. He's got like bandages, like Band-Aids on his face. He looks like he's been in fights, like numerous brawls, right? And probably recently. And but when the door opened, you could hear poof, 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 poof. You could still hear the music, and it's getting louder now as you go in. And they're like, "Go ahead, go in." And then you can like smell, cigarette smoke and cigars and liquor and beer just wafting out through the other set of double doors that's just past this guy at the table. He's like, come up, come.
That guy looks like I feel.
I head on in.
All right, who goes up first?
Emmett is walking in, and as the smell hits him, he's got his ticket in his hand still. He looks down at it, and he got the number 41. The number 41 was the firehouse that he had joined up with on the island after he got out of the service. And all the smells and everything just kind of drag him back to kind of sitting outside, waiting for his dad to come out. Kind of baking in the hot sun, playing with rocks, waiting for his dad to come out of the bar, and he would catch a whiff of what he's basically catching a whiff of right now every time the door would swing open and close as everybody was coming and going. Emmett would spend hours just sitting out front waiting, and he's feels a tightness in his chest as he proceeds inward because he hasn't really set foot in a bar since.
So the guy at the table says, "Come on, is 10 apiece."
You gotta pay cover to get in this shithole?
Yes, helps with security.
Fair enough.
I just assumed it was a 2-drink minimum.
There is that too.
I think I had the bulk of the bullets, or did we divvy it up?
No, you had all of our wares. You were the mouthpiece at the yard.
You're the money bags.
All right, so I hand him 29.
He counts it and says, "Wait, you were handing him 29?" So he's like, "You are one short."
Oh, my apologies.
Kyle, do you go into the dollar store and barter with them on the price of stuff?
Are you sure there's tax on this? I don't think so. And technically now it's the $1.25 store.
I know
have
full
issues
well
with
where he comes from. You barter for everything.
Can I give you a slightly used bottle of liquor for that item?
I will gladly pay you for a cheeseburger. Yeah,
I'll pay you Tuesday for a cheeseburger today.
Today, yeah. All right, so you give him the 30 that he's asking for to come in. All right, and you hear him like tap, 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 and he like taps on the door, and all of a sudden the door behind him opens up. Oh shit! What the fuck? Sorry, I have a thing on the wrong thing.
We're moving layers.
Yeah. Usually this is the shit that normally gets edited out. So the door behind him opens up, and then the music really kicks in, and it opens up to a much fucking larger space behind him.
I'm hearing Lords of Acid coming out of the doors.
Sure, yeah, we'll say Lords of Acid. That's a great...
Right.
Hold on.
Just to clarify, we had a checkpoint and then 2 hardened doors with security at each door.
Yeah, checkpoint door, pay door. before we got in. So yeah, you've got a set of 2 security doors to get in.
And that door behind you is closed before they open the inside door, like an airlock.
Yep.
Like a prison.
Yeah.
Or a kill box.
When you go to the zoo and it's the birds, you got to shut
Or a
the door.
security checkpoint where they don't want people coming in trying to kill some dude. It's weird.
or that.
It's almost like that's their general strategy, is to not die. But yeah, so the door opens up and you just boo, the bass from inside, just like doof, 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 doof. You can like feel it on you. And this is probably one of those first times, you know, other than like hearing music being played over the radio that you've heard a couple times, or like the band that was playing on the street, that you've heard music at this kind of volume. You know, like it's been a while. And it's Lords of Acid, like Jeremy said, which is great. It's great touch. And the guy says, come on in. And inside, you guys can move your tokens, by the way. Those are your tokens.
So move your token.
Move your tokens. The door is back. So Bruce runs around the corner and over to this other little thingy over there. Is that right, Kyle? Okay, thank you. All right, so you guys come
Sorry,
in.
I thought the door was behind him.
No,
It's okay.
no,
I
sorry.
wasn't 100% sure I was in the right spot either. I just went for something. I was
Right.
happy you were the one that was wrong.
Is where the door was. The door's right here. So it was like door, boop. And yeah, so you come in, and one of the first things you see is Jeremy, are you able to access First Sergeant in such a way that if I make something bigger, you can
Yes.
make it smaller again? Okay,
Yes.
cool. Because I kind of want to show an image, because this is from the book, Urban Operations. This is the artwork from in Urban Operations of what the nightclub looks like inside the bunker.
That's
With
actually
With the fucking
really
tiger.
cool.
There.
Is that
You know what?
Saddam?
Let's
It's not who's-
let's make it better for everybody else. There we go.
That's actually
That does
sweet.
look like Saddam.
That's pretty dope.
Well, the guy with the beret? Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
a
on the
little
bottom
like
left.
Saddam. Yeah, it does. It does. All right, so this is what it looks like inside. And you can there's a little bit more than whatever you said. You said like 3 dozen, I think is what you estimated, if I remember correctly. It seems like there's more than that in here. So maybe people didn't bring
Yeah,
weapons
people
in.
that didn't need things checked.
Didn't
Kyle's
need weapons
poetic
checked.
license.
Right. You can make that image smaller now. But one of the first things you do notice is a fucking Siberian tiger in the middle of the dance floor in a cage. And off your right-hand side, you can see a small little like bar area. Straight ahead of you, you see another bar directly in front of you with 2 bartenders. And then you'll see a couple other people like moving little carts around. Like they'll have little carts with like drinks on them and shit like that. And a whole fucking bunch of people inside. And the music, you can tell the DJ is actually down here to your bottom right. You can see, yeah, that guy. And so to the southeast corner. And this is what you got inside. What do you want to do?
Emmett will, I guess, he would move over to the bar at that south corner, somewhere where he's kind of got his back toward the, away from the door, and can see the rest of the layout of the room, and would try and get bartender's attention to get a drink of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of post up in that general region, just observing what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, if you notice, I labeled these hot dude bartender, hot girl bartender, and then hot girl bartender. Because, like, when you walk in, like, you actually notice, you're like, oh my God, like, the people that are the bartenders here are probably the most attractive people you've seen in a very long time, also. Even the dude, you're like, he's kind of hot.
Murph's like, really, Emmett? Really?
So there's that.
Can't go to the hot girl bartender, can you?
I mean, Emmett was more looking at location within the room and sight lines.
Multitask, brother.
All right, so you move up.
They weren't shitting us about the tiger.
All right, so you're moving up to the bar too, Chris?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so you move up to the bar, and there's a couple other people on the stools. I just don't have them on the board. And assume there's some people on some of these stools. And you move up there, and the bartender walks over after a minute or two. You could talk to them if you want to now, Chris, before the bartender comes over, if you wanted to relay some information.
Guys, no matter what, don't mention Valentine or any of that shit. We're just here having a good time.
Hey, do you know a creepy guy with a neck tattoo?
You look over, you see a creepy guy with a neck tattoo.
Ah, crap.
And another one. And
another one.
Something tells me I'm the one that should have stayed home, and he's the one that should have come in here. It seems like he would have blended in just fine.
Hey, Moneybags, why don't you get us a couple of drinks? I want a beer.
So, one of the things you do notice, I'm just going to give this to you guys. You actually see some kegs behind the bar, but they're like wooden casks, like wooden kegs, right? Not like, modern steel kegs. They're like, old school, medieval fucking kegs. And
because that's how they're making shit now?
Mm-hmm. And the guy walks up and he's like, "Can I help you?"
Let's see here. We'll just take 3 a year. Probably just basic beers, whatever you got here. I mean, what's your most popular drink of choice?
This is our beer. This is the beer we have. Is what we have on tap.
That sounds really good.
Locally brewed.
Hey, excellent. Let's just start with 3 of those.
All right. 5 piece.
Can do. Hand him 15.
Okay. He walks over, gets a couple pint glasses, and starts filling them up. And you guys talking about anything as you look around and kind of scoping the area? Somebody roll me a recon roll. We'll do a recon roll now.
Best or worst?
Best.
That would be.
Oh, and that's Murph for sure. 2 of us is just enough to stay alive.
Not always.
Oh, roll recon. God darn it. Are you fucking kidding me?
Never mind, Murph's gonna get us killed.
2 and a 3.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And you can't push it. It's
Okay,
passive. Yep.
We're in the bar by ourselves.
He's too busy looking at the hot girl
That's
bartender.
exactly what I was going to say. Murph is 100% ogling the hot bartender chick.
Yeah. Yeah. Down at the other end of the bar. Yeah.
Yep.
And wishing that Emmett had sat on that end of the bar.
Yes, exactly.
So as you're sitting there and the guy's filling up your beer, you notice another guy comes walking through the front door to the where you guys have just come in through, and he comes walking straight over towards y'all, and he's like, he goes up to Emmett and he's like, "Would you mind scooting down a couple stools, please? This is where I sit."
Well, I'm going to call you Norm. Not a problem. I'm just getting our beers here. Name's LT.
Well, nice to meet you, LT. If you don't mind, please move down a couple stools.
How many down do I need to go here?
The couple is generally assumed as 2, but
Well, I'm just...
whatever.
I'm all for the locals having their spot. I just didn't know how far I had to move down to oblige.
Yeah, so he comes up and he like waves at the bartender and kind of sits there. Doesn't do anything else, just sits down. And bartender turns around, hands you guys your 3 beers. And anything else you need, let me know. I can help. The bartender says that. And then goes down to the, guy that's sitting there at the end of the bar and, just kind of talks to him real quick.
So the guy that came in that let us move, he didn't like react and immediately go to get his order or anything, and be like,
Nope.
Okay. So
Nope. And
the
like,
bartender
he
didn't
sits-
act like he was a big deal.
No, the bartender didn't act like it was a big deal. And actually, what you see is you see him sit on that stool, and he's like not even really looking at the bartender. I mean, he's kind of like, but he's more so looks like he's looking out at the crowd. So if you were to piece together the information, it seems like he's security here, and probably the reason he sits there is because there's a set of double doors right behind him, and that's why he usually sits there, is because of those double doors.
Yeah, that's why I was sitting there too.
Yep.
Sight lines, a set of doors. I mean, I was looking for something.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jeremiah failed his recon roll because I didn't even see those.
Yeah.
Murph's happy he's closer to the chick bartender.
Yeah. Obviously.
All right, guys, I'm going to check out this tiger.
So what is your guys' plan? So you're going to go check out the tiger. What are you going to do, Emmett, and what are you going to do, Murph? As music's thumping.
Emmett is kind of just scanning the crowd. He's, kind of taking inventory of the clientele. He would be looking for the group of guys that we had just talked to that said they were headed this way. See if he sees them, see what they're doing, and really just trying to see if there is any. Looking for somebody who stands out as far as you've got your normal crowd, you've got the people who are here that's just hanging out, and then looking for those who are actively doing business versus just hanging out, having a good time.
I'm over playing with the tiger, but while there, I am both looking for anybody I can clock as what I think would be Americans, and what I, also looking for the group of guys that said they would be here at some point in time. Those are my two big things. What in the heck is going on?
There's a guy with a bazooka. No, those are just what these tokens look like. So
I had to check an axe, and he got.
You with a bazooka?
Jesus,
really
what the
feel
hell?
like you should have paid that guy. You tried
No,
to cheat
no.
him $5 more. You could have had a bazooka in here.
I don't have blue tokens that don't have guns, so these guys have guns. So as you look around, who was looking for the guys that you guys had met previously out on the street?
Both of us were. Both
Okay.
of us were looking for the guy the NATO soldiers that we had run into.
Right. But Bruce was walking up to the tiger, so we'll deal with that as him going to the tiger. All right. So what were you going to do, Murph?
So Murph is torn, but he's looking around and like having almost a memory of this is the type of place that we would go get fucked up after a mission and tear it up and probably start a fight and act like drunken special forces guys. But the other side of him, which is going to take over, is like, this isn't unwind time. We're still working. So he's still half looking at the hot chick and then now more doing an actual security sweep and reconning the room. Checking everybody out, looking where the guards are posted, like the guy that's sitting at the chair or at the stool, looking for other exits and other security, and like Emmett hinted at a little bit, looking to see, Kyle or LT, bigwig types and how they're treated, and main thing too, focusing on the door to see new people coming in.
Sure thing. I will base what you see off of your recon roll.
Also, I want to add one.
I'm just fucking with you.
Does the tiger look well nourished, or does it look...
You walk up and the tiger does look well nourished. As you walk up, like roar, and like roars and like kind of like swats at you, but like it's in the cage, so it can't really get you. But over the music, even thumping in there, and everyone else is like woo, and still fucking dancing around, and
I give
like
the
everyone's
tiger a
having
little
great old time.
claw back, and then I just kind of look back at the other two, and I'm just like, tiger.
Stick your arm in there.
Yeah, real John Wayne. Darn.
Dude,
Emmett, over
John Ray never ran into a tiger.
Over in the south west corner, you do where those blue guys with the bazooka,
The Blue Man Group.
Yeah, Bazooka
the Blue
Joe
Man Group
over there.
in the corner. Yeah, you recognize the captain that you had met out on the street, and the other two guys that were like NATO soldiers, and the other guy in civilian clothes. I just didn't want to put another civilian token out here, so the guy with the bazooka is the guy in the civilian clothes, and you see them over there. The other thing you see is these gray things that are here in the map are actually like mannequins that are like seated around in areas that are like almost like they're patrons, but they're just mannequins also like decorating it. So like up here in the top corner and, you know, right here, like shit like that. There's kind of mannequins strewn across, like all over the place, kind of like sculpture, you know, artwork inside of this, you know, kind of used as ambiance inside this club.
Oh man, we are
Creepy.
doomed.
And, but they just look like immobile mannequins, not like the kind that will come out and try to eat you.
I was totally thinking of
Yeah, I'm having
Cyborg.
Cyborg
Yeah,
flashbacks.
yeah.
It's like these things are gonna kill all of us.
And, yeah, so that's kind of what you guys notice. You see that group of people. No one else really stands out at this point. I mean, everyone kind of looks like you see, you know, other people that are in NATO uniforms, other people that are in civilian clothes, and you know, you see some people in Soviet uniforms. You see people in like Polish uniforms. It's kind of a mix in here, and no one's, you know, starting shit at the moment.
which is what we want to see. We want to see what happens when somebody causes a ruckus.
You see that door open up that you'd come in, and that guy that has the like beat up face starts to come in, and you know, kind of stands off to the side and is like looking out and scanning over the crowd. And you see some other people come through the door, just like normal patrons. And as it's going along, the music changes. It changes to a different song. We start hearing Ministry coming through the speakers. And you can see the guy over at the DJ over there, and he's like, you know, kind of jamming out to it. And we cut away for a minute, right? And we hear a radio broadcast. We hear that priest that had walked into the radio station while you all were there in the robes and stuff like that. And we can hear him on the microphone. He's saying this in Polish. And he says, "I looked, and there was a white horse, and its rider had a bow. He was given a crown, and he rode forth, victorious to further his victories. Another horse came out, a red one. Its rider was given power to take peace away from the earth, so that people would slaughter one another, and he was given a huge sword. When he broke open the third seal, I heard the third living creature cry out, 'Come forward.' I looked, and there was a black horse, and its rider held a scale in its hand. I heard what seemed to be a voice in the midst of the four living creatures. And at that point we cut away, and we see the market where Alexander was, and he's talking to somebody, and he's kind of like arguing with him, but we can't quite hear what he's saying. And he's like, you're arguing with this guy, and the guy's like got his hands up and is like, you know, what do you want me to do, you know, type thing. And it said, "A ration of wheat costs a day's pay, and 3 rations of barley costs a day's pay. But do not damage the olive oil or the wine." And we see Alexander walk back over, and he takes the sign that he had the food prices on and scratches it out and is erasing it, the little chalkboard that he had, and he's writing 15, 20, like marking up all of the prices that he had by like 50%. And then we hear the radio host again. He says, where was I at? Sorry. When he broke open the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th living creature and cry out, "Come forward." I looked, and there was a pale green horse. Its rider was named Death, and Hades accompanied him. They were given authority over a quarter of the earth to kill with the sword, famine, and plague, and by means of beasts of the earth. At that we cut away, and we see the refugee camp on the edge of town. We can see people that are sick, and we can see people that are, you know, obviously infected, whatever plague is going on. You can see the security's like increased on the outskirts of town, and it's like they've completely fucking locked down. like any kind of entrance into this point. You can see the different checkpoints on the edge of town are like built up to the point where they're like, nobody's fucking coming in, right? And we cut away from that and we go out to a village out on the outskirts in the countryside. And we can just see, like, in the night, we can just see, like flames, like as if they're from flamethrowers, like in different huts and different cottages and stuff like that. And we see Jacob comes walking up. And he walks up to the, he sees this village off in the distance. And he can see some, like, flames, but he's a few miles away from this at this point. But he sees some guys by the side of the road. They've got a pickup truck, and they're kind of, like, right there at the road. And since it's nighttime, he didn't really see him until he got close up. And they're like, "Can we help you?"
Adam?
Yeah.
Can I spend those 10 challenge coins now?
Be my guest.
Done.
2 years.
I was holding on to those for 2 years. So in
Holy
perfect
smokes, blow
Polish,
the dust off of those.
So in perfect Polish, he goes, well, like, he still sounds kind of like this, just it's in Polish, you know? Like, dude, like, what's going on with the village over there, man? Like, okay, so, like, I'm heading south, right? I'm trying to get to Krakow. But, like, dude, what's on the way over there, man?
This village is closed. It is infected, contaminated. You should not come through here.
Oh, shit, dude. Like, what's it infected with, man?
It's disease.
Like, yeah, but sure. Like, which one, man? Is it like polio or smallpox?
Is new plague.
You know?
New plague we have not seen before. And we see a blue pickup truck.
Fuck, man.
Sitting there by the side of the road.
Like, dude, that's like some biblical shit, man.
And they say, if you would not mind, we would like to take your temperature first. You know, they are disposing of corpses right now. We just need to make sure you're not sick.
Yeah,
so
dude. Like, I don't think I've been around anything, man, but, like, yeah, let me know. Wait, corpses?
Yes, people
Like,
that have died from disease.
Dude, so this isn't like, like cough, like...
No, it's
flu.
not like... It's not
yeah,
like
dude,
this
take my
little
temperature.
cough.
Do you guys have medicine? Like...
We do. We have medicine for people to try to treat.
But apparently your medicine's not working,
It's
man.
50-50, you know. 50-50 on if it works or not. I don't know why I'm doing the accent. We're talking in Polish, sorry. It's 50-50. I don't know if, you know. We'll have to
All
see.
right, dude, yeah, take my temperature, man, because I want to know. You know?
All right, so they take the thermometer and they put it in Jacob's mouth. We cut away from here. And we see LT with the CIA guy that's been traveling with him and the rest of his platoon. And they come walking up and they see this old, like, building off in the distance. And you realize, LT, that's the spot. That's the building that you're supposed to go to. And Noah comes up and it's like, yeah, this is the place. And you can see a couple people standing out front, like armed guards. And he's like, you don't need to come any closer. We're good. Should be good now. But thank you very much, Bruce, for escorting me. And hope you make it through this, man. You're muted.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
And he walks off towards this building.